Hidden beneath centuries of sand lies a city that history tried to erase. A city of unimaginable wealth said to be ruled by the most powerful king in history, Solomon. Legends whisper of treasures so dangerous they could destroy anyone who dares to claim them. Explorers vanished, secrets were buried, and now, the truth is closer than ever. This is Nehass, King Solomon's forbidden city, a city of power, danger, and mystery, and what you are about to see could change everything you thought you knew about history. There is a city wrapped in legend, a place where it is said that the prophet Solomon, peace be upon him, commanded the jinn to build a great fortress deep within the sea of darkness. This was no ordinary city. It was filled with wonders beyond imagination, and yet anyone who dared to draw near met with terrifying and mysterious fates. So what was this city? Why was it tied to the jinn and to Solomon himself? What secrets does it hide? And who was the man who actually set foot inside and lived to tell the tale? Historians gave it a name, the City of Brass. They wrote that inside its walls lay treasures the likes of which no human had ever seen. Endless gold, glittering jewels, dazzling diamonds, and stones more precious than the mind could fathom. Yet, though this city was filled with unimaginable wealth, it was also cursed. Anyone who tried to enter never returned. But who built this city? Here the historians disagree. Some claimed it was Tulkarnain, the mighty ruler mentioned in the Quran, who filled it with the treasures of the world. Others argued it was Solomon himself, who commanded the jinn to construct it as a storehouse for his riches and secrets. Most accounts lean toward the second view, that this was Solomon's city, built by the jinn. And that raises a troubling question. Solomon was given a kingdom unlike any other in history, one filled with power, knowledge, and treasures. So where did it all go? Why have his riches vanished without a trace, leaving behind only whispers of this mysterious city? For centuries, the truth was buried. Only one Muslim man, a traveler, managed to reach the city and describe what he saw with his own eyes. But before we reveal who he was, let's go back to where the story first resurfaced. The court of the Umayyad Caliph Abdul Malik ibn Marwan. The caliph sat surrounded by his ministers and advisors when a man named Talib ibn Saul stood up and said, "Shall I tell you about the city that still remains? The city said to have belonged to Solomon, the prophet of God?" The caliph was stunned. Could such a thing truly exist? Could part of Solomon's kingdom still stand hidden in the world? He leaned forward and ordered, "Speak, Talib, tell me everything." Talib began. A group of sailors once set out on a long journey until they reached a strange island. While fishing along its shores, they stumbled upon a sealed copper vessel. When they opened it, a powerful jinn erupted from within, crying out, "Forgive me, O prophet of God Solomon, forgive me." But when he realized Solomon was no longer there, the jinn vanished in an instant. The caliph was both fascinated and unsettled by the tale. He commanded at once that the vessel be brought to him. Then he sent a letter to his brother, Abdul Aziz ibn Marwan, the governor of Egypt. "O son of my mother," he wrote, "I send to you Talib ibn Saul on a mission of great importance. Aid him well." When Talib delivered the letter, Abdul Aziz listened carefully. He said, "There is only one man suited for such a mission, Musa ibn Nusair. He knows the routes of these distant lands, their dangers, and their hidden places. I will write to him on your behalf." When Musa ibn Nusair received the letter, he wasted no time. He accepted the caliph's command, handed authority of his province to his son Harun, and began assembling an expedition. He gathered his wisest ministers, his strongest companions, and among them a skilled guide named Abdul Samad ibn Abdul Qudus, a man who knew the maps and the hidden paths of the desert. With Talib ibn Saul at his side, along with soldiers, translators, and servants, they prepared to set out on a journey into the unknown, a journey toward the mysterious city of Brass. The army set out across the vast desert, its golden sands stretching endlessly beneath the blazing sun. Days turned into weeks, and their provisions began to dwindle. Men grew weary, their lips cracked from thirst, their camels stumbling beneath the weight of the journey. But still, Musa ibn Nusayr pressed on, guided by Abdul Samad. For he knew that beyond these shifting dunes lay secrets that had been hidden for centuries. At last, they reached a strange land, a place unlike any they had ever seen. The ground shimmered with copper and brass, the air heavy with an otherworldly stillness. And there, rising out of the desert like a vision from a dream, they saw it, the city of brass. Its walls glowed in the sunlight as if cast from molten metal. Towers of copper gleamed like fire, gates sealed shut by hands unseen. The men stopped in awe, their hearts trembling. Was this truly the city built by the jinn under Solomon's command? As they approached the gates, they called out, hoping someone would answer. But no sound came, no footsteps, no voices, no life. The only reply was the whistling wind as it brushed against the metal walls. They pushed the gates, but they did not move. They circled the city, searching for an entrance, until at last they found a great stairway leading upward. Cautiously, they climbed, each step echoing with a hollow clang. Inside the city, silence ruled. Streets paved with brass stretched before them, and everywhere they looked, there were bodies. The bodies of men and women, but unlike any they had seen. Their skin was blackened, their features twisted, as if struck down in an instant by some terrible curse. The soldiers recoiled in fear, but Musa ibn Nusayr urged them forward. "Do not falter," he commanded. "We have come too far to turn back." As they explored, they found palaces filled with treasures beyond imagination. Heaps of gold coins, jewels that sparkled like fire, ornaments of silver and crystal. Yet among the riches lay strange objects. Talismans, carved stones, and seals inscribed with words none of them could understand. And then, they came upon something even more terrifying. An enormous figure, seated on a throne of brass. Its face was human, but its eyes glowed with an eerie light, and around its head were inscriptions warning of a curse. Abdul Samad stepped closer and read aloud what he could. "We are the people who once ruled this city. We had power, wealth, and armies without number. But we defied the command of God, and so his wrath descended upon us. Now we are nothing but dust and brass, a warning to those who come after." The men fell silent. The wealth of Solomon was here before them, yet it was trapped inside a city that was more tomb than treasure. Musa ibn Nusayr realized the truth. The city of brass was not just a place of riches. It was a graveyard of arrogance, a reminder of how fleeting power can be. Still, he ordered his men to gather what they could carry, but carefully, without disturbing the cursed relics. And so, they left the city, its silent towers burning in their memories, never to forget what they had witnessed. Do you want me to keep going and finish translating the remaining part in the same? As Musa ibn Nusayr and his men left the silent ruins behind, the desert winds seemed to howl louder, as if carrying the voices of the damned. They marched away with heavy steps, treasures in their packs but fear in their hearts. Abdul Samad walked beside Musa, his expression solemn. He whispered, "Commander, what we saw today was not just a city. It was a warning. A kingdom greater than ours was erased in an instant. What will become of us if we forget the lesson?" Musa nodded. "You are right. This world is not built on gold or power. It is built on obedience to God. Without it, even brass walls cannot save a people from destruction." The army journeyed back, their path through the desert now filled with silence. No songs, no boasts, only the weight of what they had witnessed. When they returned to Kairouan, the soldiers spoke of the city of brass, but always in hushed voices. Some said they had seen the jinn themselves standing guard. Others swore they had heard whispers in the wind, voices crying out from beyond death. And so, the tale of the city of brass spread far and wide, told by travelers, merchants, and poets. Some called it a legend, others swore it was true, but all agreed on one thing: it was a story meant to humble mankind. For in the end, The city of brass was not remembered for its treasures, but for its silence. A silence that echoed louder than any words, reminding every listener that arrogance leads only to ruin. And even now, when caravans cross the endless desert, they sometimes claim to see, in the distance, towers glimmering like fire. But when they draw closer, nothing remains but sand. Was it a mirage, or the cursed city itself, waiting for those who dare to seek it? No one knows, but the legend endures, the city of brass, the forgotten kingdom of pride, sealed in time as a warning to us all.
For more epic stories lost in the sands of time, subscribe to Beyond Time and unlock history's greatest secrets.